Hello guys, my name is Kaimana Kane, and today I'm going to be giving you a book review on Where is the White House. So I have no absolute reason why they put Where is the White House as the title, because you can just solve that question in one sentence, like one page. So I think it should be what is the White House? So I think it's actually really interesting, but also not that interesting at the same time. It's just basically a mansion where presidents have lived there. But that's not all that's so special about the White House. There's some fun facts. There are some mind-blowing parties there. There was I don't know. I think it was one of the president's daughters' high school prom was held there, and I think it was somewhere in the 1900s. But yeah, it's in here somewhere. I'm not gonna look for it. So when it was built, the White House wasn't even white. It was kind of a tannish brownish color. So there's, I think it said 135 rooms in here, which is giant if you ask me. Think of any house that has less than 135 rooms. Yeah, you can't find any. Altogether there are 132 rooms. 132, not 135. There are 35 bathrooms now, but there weren't always so many. In fact, the first presidents had to go outside to an outhouse to use the toilet. So there are many, over the many different years of the White House being occupied by all the presidents, I'm pretty sure every president made a change to the White House. But also a really good, interesting thing was a long time ago, the White House was actually burned down by soldiers. And there's a really dark page in here, like this. So the house burned for hours, well into the night, until a hard rain began to fall. People stood and watched the blaze in shock. The president's house was so grand and so new. It was only 14 years old. So this is what I was talking about. It was actually burnt down by British soldiers. And there was a feast that they ate in there, and they tried to get all of their special properties from inside of there, like a portrait or a painting of George Washington, portrait of George Washington that hung on the wall. She said she and the servants tried to save other precious things as well. Then they all fled to safety just in time. When the British soldiers arrived, they found a delicious meal waiting for them. It was the dinner the servants had cooked for the president. The soldiers sat down, ate the meal, and drank all the special wine. Then they set the White House on fire. So I thought that was interesting. There are many things, there are many rooms, like the Oval Office, which is the main place where the president sits and writes all the documents and stuff. There's the red room, there's the yellow room, there's the green room, the blue room. I think there's a rose room too. And the rose room was named the rose room because many queens had actually slept there. So I think it's interesting how there's many different rooms. I think it's here. Right next to the blue room, onto the left, is the green room. Today, it's one of the most beautiful and cozy spots in the White House. Used as a parlor or sitting room, the green room is filled with paintings, sofas, chairs, and a fireplace. But in the years past, it may have been used as a bedroom by John Adams' secretary. It was used as a dining room by Thomas Jefferson, and when Mary and Abraham Lincoln's young son Willie died, his room was embalmed in the green room. So there are actually many dead bodies in the White House, not because attempted assassination, but for example, Abraham Lincoln's son Willie, he actually died there in the White House, and he got buried there. So the White House has its own movie theater, a swimming pool, and a bowling alley. So there are many parts of the White House: the West Wing and the East Wing. I believe in the West Wing there's actually a pool and also a bowling alley there. But I don't know, there's just so many parts of the White House that, it's really big. It's a really big White House. So, fun fact, George Washington is the only president who never lived there. So, George Washington actually helped build the White House, and he had some ideas for the White House. So I think that's also really interesting. So they did many things. It was kind of hard to understand all of the book, because imagine just picturing a giant White House. The book's giving you directions on where everything is, and there's 135 rooms. Like, you're probably not going to get it. So there are many different floors. I believe it's in here. It said 6, but I think there's also a bunch of many more floors that actually go into the ground, like including tunnels underground that goes through the whole city. So I think that's just interesting. So there's not much to talk about in this book, but yeah, that well, I guess that's the end of this book review. I mean, it could add a little bit more excitement and more stuff, but overall, 8 out of 10, solid, nice, and yeah. So I hope you like my book review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and Shaka out of here.